Hi guys, welcome back to Simplification tutorial. In our class today we shall be considering the reduction of surds to their basic forms. In my previous videos, I was able to treat the basic rules in solving surds. Check my YouTube channel and avail yourself the video. So let's consider the reduction of surds now. What do we mean by reduction of surd to basic form? Any surd that contains a factor that is a perfect square has not been reduced to its basic form. For an example, I have surd 8. I can split surd 8 as 4 times 2. 4 is a perfect square. Remember that perfect square are all numbers that has a square root. So 4 has a square root, so it's a perfect square. Look at 12 also. 12 is not in the simplest form because 12 can be simplified as 4 times 3. So when we reduce a surd to the form that you cannot obtain a perfect square from it again, it is in its basic form. Take an example. I have surd 11. So the 11 cannot be split into any two factors that one of them is a perfect square. Take another example as surd 17. Another example as surd 30. This number cannot be split into any number that is a perfect square. So having understood that, let's solve these examples. We have surd 18 and we are asked to reduce it to its simplest form. How do we do that? Get two factors of 18. One of them is a perfect square and the other may not be a perfect square or will not be a perfect square at all. The two numbers are 9 and 2. If I multiply 9 and 2, I will have 18. So I can now split it as 9 times root 2, separating the surd. Recall the basic rule of surd. Now square root of 9 is 3, and the square root of 2 is surd 2. Alright, so we have simplified root 18 to its basic form. Let's take another example, number 2, 75. To simplify surd 75, I'll get two numbers. One is a perfect square, the other may not be a perfect square or will not be a perfect square. And the two numbers are 25 times 3. If 25 multiplies 3, I will get 75. Now we can split it as surd 25 times surd 3. Square root of 25 is 5. And then we bring down surd 3. We have simplified 75 to its basic form. Let's consider the next question, 48. Surd 48. To solve that, we do the same thing. Two numbers, one is a perfect square, the other is not. I will have 16 times 3. 16 times 3 will give me 48. Square root of 16 is 4, and the square root of 3, we don't have it. So we say the answer is 4 root 3. I'll leave this one for you. Solve it yourself. You can solve it, split it into 110. Then you simplify. Let me solve number 5. I have 480. Now solving this one, sometimes it is not easy to get the two numbers by reasoning. But look at what I will do. You know that if I say 48 times 10, I will have 480. But then 48 is not a perfect square. 10 is not a perfect square. But this 48, I can also reduce it again to a perfect square by saying 16 times 3 times 10. Alright? So this 3 can multiply this one now to be 30. So I'll have 16 times 30. So 16 is a perfect square, 30 is not a perfect square. So having gotten this, square root of 16 is 4. Then you bring down root 30. Alright. So I will leave you at this point. Solve number 4, solve number 7, and number 6 as your practice question. Thank you so much for paying attention to this class. Meet you in my next video. In my next video, I will teach you how to expand this basic form into a single number like this. That's what we'll be solving in my next videos. Thank you so much for coming on board. Please do well to share this video to your friends, like the video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Bye bye.